that house. But I'm now going to speak to Thabang Makwetla and Gwede Mantashe about this issue. SG Samson Gwede, what is the issue with this house and why is there no apology forthcoming?
I have visited the house. When I opened here speaking, I made 2 apologies. The first apology is that we're owing the people of this place a monument there. The fact that it has not been erected up to now, it's a mistake. I apologize. So if you say there was no apology, you are being economical with facts. Number 2, I apologize by the fact that there have been no water in the area for 3 weeks. And those were my 2 apologies I started with.
So the simple conclusion here for many South Africans that may be at home is that your provincial government here in the Free State has simply failed to honor this historic icon of our liberation struggle.
No, our conclusion is that that house has actually a particular historic place in South Africa, in the east of South Africa, and therefore it must be restored as a heritage site. There must be a monument there. That commitment cannot just be limited to the province. If need be, Department of Arts and Culture nationally must drive that project. That is the message we're taking here. But that monument must be erected.
Has your government failed to honor Mam Winnie's legacy properly with the state of that house that it's in? 3 million rand was deposited, Gwede Mantashe.
I don't know the 3 million. I'm talking about the place that I visited. That it must be a monument. That monument must be built. It must be erected. It must represent a particular era in our country where people were banished because Winnie didn't stay here. He was banished here. Therefore, we must build that monument. It's a heritage site. That's what we should do. Now, your problem is that you always periodize analysis. You say failed, as if the desire to build that monument is gone and forever. That's why you use the term failed. You say it has not been erected up to now. That's why we apologize for it. It must be erected.
What can we expect at Mam Winnie's send-off this Saturday? You said it may be chaotic, judging from the character.
I'm saying every funeral reflects the character of a person. I'm saying I'm expecting that funeral to reflect the character of Winnie. It must reflect her rough outlook. She must have this candid outlook. It must reflect her rebellious spirit of wanting to do and swim against the world. The funeral must reflect that.
Well, that was Samson Gwede Mantashe, the national chairperson of the ANC. I'm now going to throw to a veteran of the ANC who served with Mam Winnie in MK. Gwede Thabang, how can you describe this gallant of a liberation icon?
Comrade Winnie Nomzamo Matikizela Mandela is, as I said earlier on, to me and to many comrades, one of those leaders in the ANC we can say was an embodiment of the people's war that our people fought in this country to bring an end to white minority rule. Because he's one of those leaders who remained inside the country, remained within our communities, and whose association with the armed effort to put pressure to bring about change was high profile. And he was very proud of being a member of Umkhonto weSizwe. He was jealous about his membership of Umkhonto weSizwe. And if, as we are sending her off in these memorial services, we don't profile that part of his life in the ANC, he will certainly not be a happy spirit wherever she is.
How would she feel about her Brandfort house and the state that it's in and the money that was deposited and never actually did the job that it was meant to do?
Well, it's a development that puts all of us to shame. Not only those who are directly responsible, but the ANC as her movement, but the country as well. All democratic and freedom-loving South Africans would not be happy that the country has failed to seize this opportunity to preserve the heritage of our struggle here, in particular the life story of Comrade Winnie, because banishment, the exiling of leaders within their own country was what befell many women leaders. And to mind immediately comes, for instance, a person like Francis Bart, who was uprooted from the Cape and left in the Soshanguve. And they lived in those communities, the regime believing that they are actually minimizing their influence on their communities. They didn't know that they are actually spreading their wings. They were able to develop roots in those areas they are banished to.
Well, thank you, Thabang Makwetla. That was Thabang Makwetla, who's also an ANC NEC member and was part of the Umkhonto weSizwe military wing of the ANC back in the struggle days with Winnie, saying that they ought to be ashamed at the state that the museum which Winnie was banished to here in Brandfort was never done and restored properly so that it could be a museum for South Africans to come and see where their liberation icon was banished to and kept the fires burning during the struggle. Also, Mantashe, the national chairperson of the ANC, apologizing to the Brandfort community for not having water for the past 3 weeks and also for that museum, Joanne.